teachers and classmates, today my group and I are going to present a strange crime punishment. It's crushed by an elephant, a turtle that was used by the Macedonian and Romans in the year 323 before Christ. They used this punishment against war criminals, mutineers, and prisoners of war. The general Lucius Aemilius Paulus Macedonicus wanted a crowd to see how a man was tortured by an elephant. The people would be scared, and they would be very careful to all the things they can do to avoid committing a crime. But in the east of Asia, there are incredibly brutal stories. For example, the elephants were trained so they would make the death of the condemned more slow and painful. In India, they used this punishment against thieves, prisoners of war, and rebels and tax evaders. And some chronicles also said that the people who committed vulgarity was punished with this torture. And finally, in the year 1814, there was a new version of this torture that I would call legs to legs. The man who ran out of luck. A man who ran out of luck was sentenced to this new version. It consists to tying the legs of the condemned to one of the elephant legs. The animal can make a violent movement could dislocate the individual's legs. After an hour of this, the elephant has to put his foot on the head of the condemned and then press until it breaks.
In the England of the 17th century, there were many crimes and offenses that were punished as a shame punishment, or they're more severe with death. But there was one that personally seems very unusual to me. This is a type of punishment of shame. I'm going to talk about the drunkard's cloaks. Drunks were forced to wear an outfit, in some cases a barrel, and then march in their town as an advertisement of the dangers of drunkenness. When someone was blamed for always being drunk, he was arrested and then put on this garb, and finally he marched long distances. This punishment was of repeat offense. This punishment was used from creation of Casa El Law of 1551. The reason why this punishment was created was because before nothing happened to them, and they were people with no body and nothing in their life, and that their fate was worse than death. The guilty of these crimes usually used to be 4-year-old men without work and without success in their life, and they had no family. If they did, alcohol had separated him enough from them. There were very few breweries by law, but it was immoral to go to one of them. Today, this type of punishment, I don't know if it could be useful. I think society has changed a lot.
Well, torture is the act of inflicting pain or psychological damage on the part of a public authority or someone protected by it, obtain information or obtain evidence to clarify a crime. Indefinite torture took place over time. Today, I will tell you about the torture called the will. The will was a method of torture and execution used in Europe from the Middle Ages and during modern times until the last execution recorded in Prussia. The method was used as a complement on the common capital punishment in case of serious crime. The first part of the torture consists of firmly tying the prisoner to a bench or a cross, then proceeding to break all the bones and joints of the condemned. It was mandatory that the condemned or prisoner person not die from the internal expulsion. Secondly, the prisoner was placed on a cartwheel so that the ankles touched the head, for which the leg had to be discolored upwards, placing the arms so that they traveled the entire length of the circumference. Finally, he hooks and they tried to break all the bonds. This painful torture could go on for hours and even put to a day. Really extreme, right? It's all teacher. Thank you so much.